So the discs in this box are from the drop. And you're probably wondering, what's the drop? Well, let me tell you and show you what's inside. So what the drop is it's Ledgestone's biggest disc release of the year. And this is all going to be happening on August 4th at shopledgestone.com. And the guys over at Ledgestone were nice enough to send me a bunch of discs from the drop. And we're going to be playing the front 9 out here at Lincoln Ridge. So before we head into the round out here at Lincoln Ridge, let me show you what's inside this box and a couple of the molds that you're going to be able to pick up on August 4th. So I had already opened this box because I was so excited to see that this had arrived. So first up is going to be a Z Swirl Buzz. The Buzz is one of the most popular discs in disc golf, and for good reason. It is such a good mid-range, and then this Z Swirl plastic, got a lot of swirls in it here, and then it also got a little bit of glitter in the plastic as well. Next up is a disc that I've never thrown before, and I am super excited to get the chance to throw it out here today, and that's gonna be the Swirly Esp Buzz Gt. So for those of you who don't know, the Buzz GT is just like a Buzz, but it's going to have a groove track around the inner side of the top flight plate here. That flight plate does offer a good place for your thumb to sit on top of the disc. So I'm super excited to see how this thing flies. And as Nate Heinold said, these things are
super stupid Swirly Esp Buzz GT.
Next up, the most popular approach disc in disc golf, that's going to be a Zone. And this one specifically is a Z Swirl Zone. Really cool stamp on this one and really cool color combo. It's like a burgundy with some like black in it. Really excited to throw this one. Next up, one of my favorite fairway drivers of all time, that is going to be the Undertaker, and this one's going to be in the Swirly Esp plastic. You really can't go wrong with an Undertaker. It's a little bit of a faster fairway driver at that 9 speed, and I'm interested to see how this one flies. Typically when you get Undertakers, they're either slightly more stable when you first get them, or sometimes they're out of the box, they're just dead straight. And here at Lincoln Ridge, it's going to be a great disc for some of the wood shots that we have here today. And last but not least, one of my favorite molds of all time, and that is going to be the Z Swirl Fierce. I always throw the Fierce off the tee in the Big Z plastic. Really interested to see how the stability is on this thing. So we're gonna be throwing this thing off the tee a ton and probably using this for our approach disc here today. So those are 5 molds that you're gonna be able to pick up on the drop day, and those are gonna be the discs that we're gonna have available to us today out here playing the front 9 at Lincoln Ridge. But let's jump into hole 1 here and start throwing some of these discs. All right, folks, hole 1 out here at Lincoln Ridge. I always just take a Buzz here. So we're gonna take that new Z Swirl Buzz off the tee here. If it's in the A-pin location, it's dead straight ahead, which is where I'm just gonna throw this thing out to. Interested to see how much stability this Buzz has right out of the box. We're gonna throw this thing down there, hopefully get something close to one of the baskets down there. Sit. Okay, that's down there, off to the left side actually, but we'll be in a decent spot down there. Well folks, thanks for tuning in here today and hanging out with me at Lincoln Ridge and throwing some of the new molds that you're gonna be able to get from the drop from Ledgestone on August 4th. We started off the round here with that Z Swirl Buzz, and I threw that thing on a fair bit of amount of hyzer, and it just held that hyzer line like a typical Buzz will straight out of the box. But we're gonna take a look and see where we ended up, try and get up and down here, and if not, walk away with the par here on the first hole. Go in. Oh my goodness, that was such a good run. That thing went off the top of the basket. I thought we made that in for birdie. All right, well, that's a decent way to start out the round. There we go. Start out the round with a par. That thing bounced right off the top of this basket. Take that par, move on to hole 2 now. All right, I'll take that par all day there on hole 1. Move on to hole 2 here, which is 360 feet. This is a perfect hole for that ESP Swirl Undertaker. Focusing on just giving this thing a fair amount of height too. As long as I give it the height, it should get the distance. Oh, that's so straight. Okay. Didn't give it the height it needed, but I did give it a lot of spin, which just made that thing fly dead straight. That's gonna be a great Undertaker right out of the box. All right, so the basket's just tucked into those trees right there, but we're gonna have another jump putt here. Gonna try and put this thing on a little bit of anhyzer, turn this thing over, try and sink this putt. It's got the height. Oh, okay. Use the tree as a backstop there. We'll be able to pick up a par there. There we go, a couple pars to start out the round with some brand new discs. Never mad at that. We're moving on to hole 3. It's about 300 feet. I think this is gonna be a perfect shot for that new Buzz GT in this Swirly ESP plastic. I have thrown other discs that do have this groove track here on the top of the flight plate, and typically for me, those discs are slightly more overstable. I'm gonna give this thing a fair bit of power just to see what type of stability that it has. Skip off the road. Oh, it did get a skip off the road. Probably just another jump putt towards the basket. So one thing I will say about the Buzz GT is it does have a very clean feeling release out of the hand. I think that's a super important thing when you're picking out discs for your bag, is if it feels good in your hand. But we'll take a look and see where we ended up. Hopefully be able to catch one of these jump putts eventually. Try and hit this first birdie here of the round. Let's see if we can sink this putt. Oh, didn't give it enough height at all. We'll take another par here. Really like this Buzz GT. Drop in par there, never mad about that. Definitely would have liked a better effort there on the putt. Either way, we'll take it. All right, a bunch of pars to start out the round here. On to hole 4 here now, about 200 feet. This is an ace opportunity, and we're gonna get to throw one of my favorite molds of all time, and that's gonna be that Z Swirl Fierce. I'm interested to see how much stability this thing has in this Z Swirl plastic, because I'm typically throwing it in the big Z, but we're gonna toss this thing out there, try and get our first birdie of the round, or maybe hit an ace here. Oh, nice flight out of that. Okay, just past the basket there. Definitely gonna have a birdie opportunity there. All right, we did push a little far of the basket, but that's all right. My putting has been definitely the best part of my game so far this year. All right, here we go, first birdie here. Nice, there we go. First birdie of the round. This is definitely a must-get birdie here at Lincoln Ridge. Pushed just past the basket here with that Z Swirl Fierce. This one might be staying in the bag though. All right, on to hole 5 here now. This one's 283 feet. I think I'm gonna try out the Buzz GT again. This thing seemed to have a little bit more stability than the other Buzz does that we have here today. Just have something cruise down towards the basket, hopefully end up in a decent spot to give ourselves a jump putt or some sort of approach. Oh, sent it too wide. Miss. Oh, we missed all those trees on the right side. Hopefully be in the middle of the fairway down there. Have some sort of look at the basket. All right, yeah, interesting little approach putt here. I would say that's definitely a jump putt. Try and get this thing up there. Just try and lay it up towards the basket. If not, give it a little bid. Okay, definitely give it a little bid. All right, perfect. Definitely be able to pick up the par there. There we go, another par. I typically am parring this one, but either way, walk away with a par. Stoked on that. All right, on to hole 6 here, about 350 feet. This is a par 4 out here. We're gonna take, for the first time out here, we're gonna take that Z Swirl Zone, and I really enjoy the stamp on this one as well. I typically do throw a forehand here, so we're gonna try and put this thing out to that left side and just have it sit in the fairway there, and then we'll have a nice another approach shot after that. Miss it, fade. Nice, let's go. That's in a perfect spot up there. We'll probably use that same disc again to get up and down there to hopefully hit a birdie here. So definitely interesting spot that we're in here. Realistically, can either flex this zone over, or we can take that Z Swirl Fierce and just kind of throw it flat and have it cruise down over there. And I think the higher probability is gonna be going with that Z Swirl Fierce towards the basket. Okay, it's down there. We should have a look at the basket. We do have a nice look at the basket here now. Downhill putt. All right, let's convert on this birdie here. Let's go. That is a huge putt. Wow, I'll take that birdie all day. Let's go. Huge birdie there on hole 6. We're moving on to hole 7 now. This is one of the more scary tee shots here on this front 9, just because of how downhill this shot is, as well as the green slopes away too. It's about 200 feet. Gonna take this Z Swirl Fierce here. Just throw this thing pretty low and pretty soft, so that way it just ends up somewhere on that green and doesn't skip away. Here goes nothing. Hit a tree. It did hit a tree down there. Okay, towards the end. If you miss off to the left side, it kind of gets caught up in a bunch of trees down there, but we'll have to take a look and see when we get down there. So there's the basket right there. We ended up probably hitting that tree right here. Just ended up sitting right there. Definitely a birdie opportunity here. Let's put this one in. Yep, right in the heart of it. That was such a dialed putt there. Let's go. Another birdie here. All these new discs from Ledgestone putting us in great spots to pick up birdies here out at Lincoln Ridge. 2 birdies in a row there, putting us at 2 down, using only the drop disc from Ledgestone that's coming up. Moving on to hole 8 here, 220 feet. This is just a straight hyzer shot. So we're gonna take the Z Swirl Zone here. Okay, as long as that didn't roll away down to that right side, we should have a decent look at the basket from there. That zone, that Z Swirl Zone just held that hyzer line, carried most of the way there, I think. One of the reasons why I love that Ledgestone does these exclusive drops like this is because you get so many different types of molds and different plastics that you wouldn't normally be able to get from your typical retailer. So when Ledgestone comes out with all these different types of plastics, it's super awesome to see the different molds. I believe there's going to be 30 plus other molds that you're going to be able to pick up, but let's take a look and see where we ended up. Hopefully didn't roll off to that right side, have some sort of look at the basket. This would be an absolutely huge birdie putt if I'm able to hit this. I'm gonna try and hit this putt here. Go in. Oh, off of the cage of the basket there. I really thought that was gonna go in. We would have been 3 for 3 on the last holes here. We'll take a par on this one. Putting has been definitely the best part of my game this year. Really thought I was gonna hit that. Putt just ended up going off the basket there. Just need a little bit more height, but we'll head into the last hole here. Still 2 down. All right, the final hole out here at Lincoln Ridge, using only discs from the drop from Ledgestone. I've had a really good time throwing all of these discs out here today. This hole is at 205 feet, absolutely perfect hole for this new Z Swirl Fierce. Gonna toss it off to the right side, but I'm honestly gonna try and ace this thing right now. Oh my gosh, that is a great flight out of that Fierce. That is absolutely parked over there. So that Fierce flies really, really straight. I thought that with that Z Swirl plastic, it would have a little bit more stability, but that thing is a dead straight flyer. Nice. Man, these are some great molds that you're gonna be able to pick up. That's 3 down out here through 9 holes at Lincoln Ridge. That's a great round out here. Well, folks, that is going to wrap up the front 9 out here at Lincoln Ridge using only discs from the drop from Ledgestone. I really enjoyed using all of those molds, and a lot of those molds I could see myself using for a very long time and keeping in the bag, especially that Z Swirl Fierce. That's one of my favorite throwers off the tee or for approach shots. But like I mentioned, the drop from Ledgestone is going to be happening on August 4th at shopledgestone.com. There will be a link in my bio that you'll be able to use to pick up some of those molds and help support me as a content creator this year. If you did enjoy the video, make sure that you leave a like down below. Leave me a comment and let me know which of those 5 discs that you like the most and what you are most excited to pick up at the drop from Ledgestone. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be bringing you more videos. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.